Hi, this is Eric Martin with BoardGameGeek. I'm here with Nikki Pontius for Studio H, looking at Oriflamme, which won Game of the Year in France.
Yes, it did.
This year. Yes, it's a very small card game. Maybe give an overview of what's going on in the game.
Sure. This is Oriflamme, and what you are going to do is you're each going to play a house. All right, so each deck of cards has a house symbol on them. All of the cards are the same in everybody's deck. The thing that's going to randomize it a little bit is that you get 10 cards, you shuffle them, you randomly take out 3 cards. Those 3 cards will not be used during the game at all. And then the 7 remainder cards will be available to you for the whole entire game. So that is your hand of cards. So there's a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of not knowledge with the change up of getting rid of the 3 cards randomly out of your hand. The game plays in 6 rounds, so one of the 7 cards in your hand will not even be played at all. That's the other little trick to it too, to change it up a little bit. Every player, the point of the game is to win influence tokens. These are the influence tokens here. They come in 1s and 5s. Everyone's going to start out with 1 because there is a certain card in the deck that you cannot play unless you have at least 1 influence to play it. So that's how that came about. You want to be the player with the most influence at the end of the game, and you are the winner. So there's also a really awesome little cheat sheet here of what each of the cards do. You kind of have to get familiar with the cards in order to play. Usually when I've taught this, I just have people jump in and we just go through and explain the cards as they're revealed. So the first game is very much a learning game to see how cards interact with each other throughout the game. So the first player token is this big, huge, pointy crown. And then this token here is going to be the direction in which the cards that you play to the table are going to be resolved. So the starting player gets to choose that direction. But in the games I've played, most people just set the direction left to right, like you're reading, a reading style. Okay. So each player would look at their cards, decide what they want to play 1 face down to the table, and then we would go around the board and all players would choose to do this. So I'm just going to start, and you would start a row of cards. When you're placing a row of cards, you can either place to the right or the left of the first card, the first card that was played. So we could do this, and then blue. That's just for show, and then blue would come in and decide they want to be here. Then we would resolve from left to right. On this part of the second phase of the game, you would choose to either reveal the card or decide not to reveal the card and sit on it for that round. If you decide to sit on it, you place a influence marker on that card, and then we would go to the next player and they would decide whether to flip it up and take the action or to save it for another turn. So in the interest of teaching, we will do this one. This card is pretty cool in that he is an heir to the throne. If there are no other heir to the throne cards revealed, you will gain an influence marker for that, 2 influence markers for that heir to the throne. So the yellow player would take this and add it to their personal stash of influence. And then we would continue on down the line. If both of these players decided not to do that, they would put the influence on, and then we'd go back to phase 1 of the game, and we would start playing cards down to either the right or the left of the row again. And then we'd go on to phase 2, and start deciding whether you want to reveal or put more tokens on. Any card like this one that was revealed on a previous turn always will activate. So if no one else put another heir to the throne in the line, my heir to the throne would get to take another 2 influence markers. So there are very sneaky, interesting things to do. What you're trying to do is get the most influence points and eliminate cards and manipulate this row in the middle to get the best results for the cards that you choose to play and then reveal to the game board. So for instance, this archer here is going to, it's a ranged attack basically. So it will eliminate the last card or the first card in the row of cards. So I could choose to eliminate this one or this one, whatever I decide to do. There's a coin marker on this one, and you would gain a coin for doing that job, let's say. It can happen that you are shooting your own or attacking your own people in your own house, because even though you are trying to get the favor of the country to win the throne, you ultimately want to be the winner, or you want to get the most coins to win anyways. So yes, you can attack your own house members also, depending on how the cards end up getting manipulated throughout the game. So that is a whole bunch of the cards. When you would choose to reveal the cards that have tokens on them, they'd go into your pool, and then you would immediately take the effect. There are some sneaky cards in here that if you shoot at it and it turns out to be an ambush, or I think there's an assassin in here, it changes up the result of whatever you thought you were about to do, because some sneaky person managed to get some other card in there that ends up affecting you. And again, it's 6 rounds, and whoever's got the most influence points wins the game. There's a stacking mechanism that goes on in the game too. I won't get into it, but it's another way to get the game a little bit meatier. Gameplay on that with stacking the cards. But most of the time when we start out, we're going straight 1, 1, 1.
And I assume if someone is face down and they have influence on them and they're killed, obviously you do not get that influence.
You do not get the influence. It goes away, actually. It goes into the pool. The other player does not take it. But there are cards in the deck that allow you to steal from other people's stash of influence.
Okay. So you will definitely want to be shooting people.
Yes. It's all about getting the influence and becoming the house that is the most influential in the land.
Okay. And any other changes with 2 to 5 players, or it's just with 2 players it's a tighter game just because it's just you and an opponent, that's it?
Yeah. It's a 3-player, so 3 to 5.
Okay.
3 to 5. And yeah, there's no changes. I can hint that we're going to have an expansion for it, which is going to turn it into a much denser game. The way we kind of look at this game is it is it's supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be fast, it's supposed to be sort of a filler game. So, but with this new expansion, it'll turn it a little deeper.
Filler to fuller.
To fuller, yes.
Yes, yes. That definitely needs to be a term, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Well, thank you very much for the overview of Oriflamme from Studio H, winner of France's Game of the Year Award, the As d'Or. Thank you very much, Nikki.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah.